We'd be lying if we said some celebrities did not have their fame because of their family name and reputation. Oftentimes that is the case. For everyone on our list today, they rose to fame because of their famous parents, and we can't help but wonder if they'd even have a career without them. I'm your host Joss, and today on Beyond the Screen we are checking out 10 celebrities who have famous parents. Subscribe if you want to hang out with us every day, and come say hi on social media. Everything is linked for you guys down below. But for now, let's get into our countdown. Kicking off our countdown at number 10 is Elle King. If you're like me, then this might surprise you because I am a fan of Elle, but I had no idea that these were her parents. Her mom is the model London King, and her dad is actor Rob Schneider. Rob Schneider! How did I not know this? Her real name when she was born was Tanner L. Schneider, but she grew up in Ohio with her mom and stepdad. It wasn't until she grew older that she had a strong relationship with her actual dad. She spoke about her experience growing up with famous parents and said, "I got kicked out of school in 8th grade. It was a horrible place, just rich kids being bad. When you grow up in New York with famous parents, you kind of end up running into other kids with famous parents." Not gonna lie, that don't sound all that bad. I wouldn't mind having like rich parents at some rich school and run into other kids with rich parents. That sounds like a blast. Moving on to number 9, we have Ben Stiller. Another one on this list that I didn't realize, and you're probably all gonna make fun of me because I bet you guys realized it. Ben Stiller is a hilarious actor and comedian with a successful career, but so is his dad, Jerry Stiller, who starred on the iconic TV series Seinfeld. Ben credits both of his parents for his career though, his mom as well, and Mira. During an interview he said, "If my parents were like plumbers, who knows what I would be doing." He's open about the fact that comedy and acting has always been a part of his life since he was a kid, so he knew that it would be the field of work that he just grew into. I feel like that always happens though, or most of the time. Like when your parents grow up in the industry, it's kind of easy to just follow in their footsteps, plus use their connections. Know what I'm saying? Next up at number 8 is Emma Roberts. Many people know her for being related to actress Julia Roberts, who is her aunt, but her dad is famous too. Her dad is actor Eric Roberts, so between her dad and her aunt, she's always been heavily influenced by the industry. But Emma has talked about this fact and says that she's always tried to make decisions for herself despite having a famous connection. She talked about it and said, "I think it's important to choose to make decisions for yourself, and that's part of growing up in my career you have. I think you need to know what you like and what you don't and how you want to build a career." So although she's had some influences in her acting career, she does stand firm that she's made decisions on her own. Sliding into number 7 is Charlie Sheen. His dad, Martin Sheen, has been in the acting industry for many years, first getting recognized for his work in Badlands, The Subject Was Roses, and The West Wing. So it's not surprising that Charlie would take after his father and pursue an acting career. He admits that they didn't always have a strong relationship, but that they grew closer in recent years. When talking about his dad, he said, "We are such better friends than we've ever been. We don't judge each other. It's nothing but fun when we hang out. We don't agree on everything, obviously. I mean, what father and son do. He's a special cat and I'm really lucky to have him." Charlie admitted that after he was diagnosed with HIV, it was one of the things that brought them closer together and helped them create a strong bond. Up next, number 6 is Nicole Richie. When she first broke out into the scene, we just knew her as Paris Hilton's best friend on the TV series The Simple Life. But how exactly did she break out into the industry in the first place? We know Paris comes from a wealthy, well-known family, but Nicole does too. Her dad is the iconic singer Lionel Richie, believe it or not. Nicole admitted her childhood was surrounded by many celebrities, including Michael Jackson. She talked about her childhood and said, "When your father is Lionel Richie, you grow up with some pretty famous people around the house, like Prince and Michael Jackson. From what I remember, it was pretty normal to me. There were a lot of people around is what I remember. There were people in and out of the house pretty much all the time, but now that I'm older and I'm in the business, I get it." That's crazy. Can you imagine just like chilling at home as a kid and Michael Jackson and Prince are coming over? That is so cool! Halfway through the list is Dakota Johnson. The 50 Shades of Grey actress has not only one, but 2 famous parents and a famous grandmother. Her dad is actor Don Johnson, who starred on the TV series Miami Vice and Nash Bridges. And her mom, Melanie Griffith, is known for starring in Body Double and Working Girl. And her grandma is actually Tippi Hedren, who took the lead in the iconic movie The Birds. So between all of them, they have a pretty impressive family resume. Having 3 generations that all have a successful acting career is pretty freaking cool. Dakota has made jokes about her childhood though, saying the worst part about having parents in the film industry is that she had to watch them have sex with other people on screen. She said she lost her mind and didn't know how to handle it. Not gonna lie, never thought of that aspect. Like, how creepy would that be to watch a movie and it's your mom or your dad and they canoodling with someone else on screen? That'd be so creepy. Even now as an adult, like, that is not what I want to watch. Here now, number 4 is Kelly Osbourne. Just by hearing Osbourne, you already know her entire family basically. Her dad is the frontman of Black Sabbath, Ozzy Osbourne, and her mom is the co-host on The Talk, Sharon Osbourne. Kelly was born into fame and admits that she's been famous her whole life because of her parents' reputation. She talked about it and said, "I've been famous since the day I was born within the rock and roll world, and I've been famous since my teens because of the Osbournes. I woke up one day and was one of the most well-known 16-year-olds in the world, and it scared me. It literally happened overnight." The Osbournes was a reality TV show that their family had back in 2002 to 2005 that basically just followed their family around, kind of like Keeping Up with the Kardashians, but them. People got to see a more personal side to all of them, and that's when they really fell in love with them. Taking over the 3rd spot is Willow and Jaden Smith. Many people would argue that these two would not have a career if it wasn't for their parents and their family name. Their dad, Will Smith, is one of the biggest actors in Hollywood and has been for many years. And their mom, Jada Smith, also a successful actress, producer, and talk show host. Both Jaden and Willow have turned to the music side of the industry. Willow is a singer and Jaden is a rapper, but Will did get them involved in some acting when they were younger. Willow has always appreciated their position in Hollywood and said, "Growing up, all I saw was my parents trying to be the best people they could be, and people coming to them for wisdom, coming to them for guidance, and them not putting themselves on a pedestal, but literally being face to face with these people and saying, 'I'm no better than you.'" To be honest, I can see them being like that. I get this vibe from Will Smith that he is doesn't care that he's a celebrity, doesn't want the fame, and if you met him, I bet he'd be so down to earth and on your level. Just a random assumption, but maybe I'll meet him and I'll let you know. Rolling into number 2 is Liv Tyler. If we're being honest, she will probably always be identified as Steven Tyler's daughter. That's what happens when you're the frontman of a band like Aerosmith. Many people thought Liv was going to grow up and be a musician just like her dad. Even she thought that at one point. Liv did an interview back in 1994 when she was 17 years old and said, "I've always liked to sing, and as a little girl I thought I'd be a singer. My mom was a singer too, but I never felt any pressure from my parents. Then acting just happened, and it happened so quickly, so I took advantage." She also revealed that she didn't actually know her dad until she was about 9 years old because she actually grew up in Maine and was raised by her mother. And although she was constantly surrounded by Aerosmith, she claims that she never let herself get caught up in it. In the number 1 spot is the Kardashian sisters. If you don't follow any of the Kardashian sisters, then you would just assume they got famous from the reality show Keeping Up with the Kardashians or from Kim's sex tape. But why is their family known in the first place? It was actually because of their dad, who passed away, Robert Kardashian. He was a famous attorney and businessman who gained national recognition as O.J. Simpson's friend and defense attorney during the legendary case back in 1995. After he passed and their lives continued on, the girls were already known for their family name, and their show also included Bruce Jenner, who was an Olympic champion at the time, and it was their stepdad for many years. They all started their own careers based off the fame that they got from that show, but from the family name. Isn't it crazy to think that this all started with an attorney working on a murder case? How crazy is that? Literally had nothing to do with Hollywood or beauty or anything. So weird. Beginning list number 10 is Kate Hudson. The actress has been well known for her rom-com circuit, showing up in almost all of them at one point in time. But her mom was well known for comedy films long before she was. Her mom, Goldie Hawn, appeared in countless films throughout the 80s and 90s and still goes down as a legendary actress in Hollywood. The two of them are very close and have always shared their passion for acting, and now they are both moms. They recently posed for the cover of People magazine together with Kate's daughter, Rainey Rose, and it was like the cutest thing ever. In the interview, they talked about their bond with each other, but also the tough times that they had to get through as a family. That's like goals. I wish I could like have a shoot like that with my mom and my kid. It's really freaking cute. I don't have a kid. I had to make that clear. Up next, number 9 is Brody Jenner. Most people came to know him from the reality TV series The Hills, but some people also got to know him from Keeping Up with the Kardashians. He would appear in some of their episodes because he's actually half siblings with Kylie and Kendall Jenner. If you're piecing this together in your head right now, yes, Brody's dad is Bruce Jenner, now Caitlyn Jenner. A lot of people didn't know that Bruce at that time had other children while filming Keeping Up with the Kardashians, until they just started to appear in some of the episodes. Brody was also in the recent reboot of The Hills, where he talked about his relationship with his dad and how he feels about his transition into Caitlyn. He admitted that of course it was a weird adjustment at first, but that he supports her and is happy she's able to be who she always wanted to be. That'd be a hard adjustment, let me tell you. Especially because he was like a world athlete, and I feel like growing up you're probably like throwing balls with him, and like it would just be such a hard transition. Sliding to number 8 is Liza Minnelli. She's a very successful actress and singer who has had a long career in Hollywood despite not having her mom around for some of it. She has won Academy Awards for some of her acting performances and is known for her energetic and powerful performances while singing. Some would say that her talents came from her iconic mother, Judy Garland, who became known for taking on the legendary character of Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz. The amount of talent between the two of them is like insane. Sadly, Liza lost her mom in 1969 after she died of an accidental drug overdose at the age of 47. Her story has gone down in history though for her struggles with a substance and alcohol addiction and how she was actually abused by people in the industry while filming The Wizard of Oz. It's caused a lot of controversy. Pretty crazy. Making her way into number 7 is Tallulah Willis. The actress became known for her work on The Scarlet Letter, Bandits, and The Whole 10 Yards. And she recently launched her own clothing line inspired by mental health. She's always been very open with her fans about her struggles with OCD, anxiety, and depression. I personally became known of who she is and her famous parents after she appeared on the MTV series Catfish. She appeared in multiple episodes as a guest host and explained that she is the daughter to Bruce Willis and Demi Moore. She now has a close relationship to both of them, despite the fact that they did split up, but there was a point she said where she actually didn't talk to her mom for 3 years. Luckily, they were able to reconnect and they are closer than ever now. How do you not talk to your mom for 3 years? That's crazy. I'd be like a brand new by the time I talk to my mom again. She wouldn't even recognize me. Rolling to number 6 is Miley Cyrus. We all know that she skyrocketed into fame because of her Disney role Hannah Montana. But an interesting fact that we don't know is that her dad, the musician Billy Ray Cyrus, actually played a huge part in her audition process for that role. He was at the audition process with Miley because she was actually just 11 years old and was reading for the part of Hannah's dad, and they ended up loving the chemistry that they had together and wanted him to play the part. And as we know, at that time, he was Billy Ray Cyrus. He was poppin'. Billy talked about it recently in February of 2020 after a prequel show for Disney Plus was confirmed to be in the talks. I would die. I'm hoping that happens. He talked about the original casting process and said, "They had cast me as her dad and I said that they should get a real actor. I don't want to mess the show up because this is a great script and a great concept." But the two of them took on their roles and it ended up being one of the biggest shows in Disney history. Halfway through our countdown, number 5 is Laura Dern. She first received international recognition when she starred in Steven Spielberg's classic Jurassic Park back in 1993. From there, she went on to build a wildly successful career with both Golden Globes and Academy Awards under her belt. In more recent years, she is known for starring on the TV series Big Little Lies and the movie Little Women. Laura brought her mom, Diane Ladd, to the 2020 Oscars and people were freaking out to see them on the red carpet together. Some even saying that they didn't realize they were even related. Both of her parents are famous actors, her dad also being a Bruce Dern. She talked about her parents' fame with Variety and admitted that they didn't want her to become an actor and that her mom actually discouraged her because she was worried for her, just knowing how hard the industry could be. But she went on to become an actor anyway, and here we are. Cruising into number 4, we have Ashley Judd. Not only is she known for her acting, but she's also known for being a political activist. Her acting career wouldn't be surprising for the people that know she is the daughter of Naomi Judd, the country music singer. She talked about her childhood and how she's grown up in a family of performing artists, so the industry was just something that she was always intrigued by. Her acting career has spanned for more than 3 decades now, and not many people piece together that her mom is Naomi because she isn't involved in the music part of the industry like her mom is. I had no idea, just saying. Taking over the 3rd spot is Drew Barrymore. She became a star at the age of 7 after starring in Steven Spielberg's movie E.T. But at that point, she'd actually already been working for 6 years. She actually landed her first job in a dog food commercial at just 11 months old. Maybe you're wondering why on earth her parents would submit her to jobs at such a young age, but that is because they were both in show business as well. Her dad is John Barrymore and her mom is Jade Barrymore. Her parents were both famous actors, but her mom went on to actually become her manager. Her dad was just carrying on the family business, working in film and TV. His father, Drew's grandfather, was the most acclaimed Hamlet of his generation. And on top of that, her great-grandfather, Maurice Barrymore, was starring in silent movies back in the 1800s. So her family has an entire lifeline in the acting industry, like literally from start to finish. Now I'm like, I just have no chance. You know what I mean? Literally. I'm like, I didn't realize everyone had like some kind of connection. Meh. Taking over 2nd place is Billie Lourd. This is another family tree filled with tons of talent. The actress is known for her performances on the series Scream Queens and American Horror Story. It makes sense that she would be a talented actress because her mom is Carrie Fisher and her dad Brian Lord. I mean, how cool would it be to say that your mom was Princess Leia in Star Wars? That's unreal. After her mom passed away, they actually used Billie in the final movie to help develop Princess Leia's CGI, which is really freaking cool. On top of her parents being well known in Hollywood, her grandma is too. Her grandma is Debbie Reynolds, the famous actress and singer who starred in Singing in the Rain. Billie has talked about her famous family and said, "I've always kind of lived in their shadows, and now is the first time in my life when I get to stand on my own. I love being my mother's daughter and it's something I always will be, but now I just get to be Billie." That's a freaking sweet setup in Hollywood, let me tell ya. In the number 1 spot is Zoe Kravitz. The actress, singer, and model has a pretty sweet setup when it comes to her home life. She is the daughter to the iconic musician Lenny Kravitz and the iconic actress Lisa Bonet. That in itself would be the coolest thing ever, but she also has a famous stepdad. After her parents got divorced in 1993 when she was just 5 years old, Lisa went on to marry actor Jason Momoa years down the road. So Zoe has 3 very successful parents in the industry, which we can imagine would be very helpful for her career. And also really freaking sweet.
Coming in at 10, Kiefer Sutherland. Born Kiefer William Frederick Dempsey George Rufus Sutherland, yeah, I'm serious, that's his name, this dude has had an incredibly prolific career, starring in films such as Mirrors, Phone Booth, Stand By Me, and of course, The Lost Boys, one of the greatest films of all time. I think at this point it's common knowledge, but Kiefer Sutherland is the son of Hollywood legend Donald Sutherland. Canada's treasure, therefore my treasure. Donald Sutherland shot to fame through roles in Oedipus the King, MASH, National Lampoon's Animal House, and for the younger viewers out there, The Hunger Games. The sigh. According to a source, the pair didn't get to spend much time together over the years until they worked on Forsaken together. I quote, "It wasn't until the last few days of shooting that I realized this was the most time I've spent with my father." Well, that's just kinda sad, isn't it? Coming in at 9, Emma Roberts. Love her or hate her, Emma Roberts comes from a very prestigious Hollywood family, filled to the brim with shining stars. Now her last name may give it away, but no, we're not talking Julia Roberts, who yes, is her aunt, but let's talk about her father. Emma's father father is Hollywood icon Eric Roberts, and if you don't know who that is, I'm shook. His IMDb page credits him as starring in over 500 movies and TV shows throughout his incredibly prolific career, with such projects as The Dark Knight, Runaway Train, The Cable Guy, and of course everyone's favourite, The Human Centipede 3 Final Sequence. Now, although Emma Roberts may have had some help breaking into the industry, she has certainly paved her own way, with roles under her belt like We're the Millers, Scream Queens, Palo Alto, and Scream 4. Regarding her lineage, Emma said, I quote, "I think it's important to choose to make decisions for yourself, and that's part of growing up in any career you have. I think you need to know what you like and what you don't, and how you want to build a career." Preach. Coming in at 8, Amber Tamblyn. I don't know where Amber Tamblyn went, but honestly I want to know. For a period of time she was shining in the spotlight, starring in films like The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants and The Grudge 2. However, she has only made small appearances here and there over the last few years, making a handful of cameos on Inside Amy Schumer, as well as 2.5 Men. We don't speak about that one. I need her back, people. Regardless of her career, Amber Tamblyn is the daughter of acclaimed actor Russ Tamblyn, who of course starred in films such as West Side Story, The Haunting, 7 Brides for 7 Brothers, Drive, and my favourite TV show, Twin Peaks, and much, much more.
Let's talk about Laura.
Okay, let's talk about Laura.
Bobby, what happened the first time that you and Laura made love?
Honestly, this dude was a king in Hollywood back in the day and still makes appearances here and there, the most recent being in The Haunting of Hill House, where he took on the role of Dr. Montague. All I can say is, I need more Russ and I need more Amber. Give it to me now. Coming in at 7, Charlie Sheen. Look, I hate talking about Charlie Sheen, I really do. I don't appreciate his behaviour, I don't appreciate his work, but I do appreciate his incredible lineage. Charlie Sheen shot to fame through roles in films such as Red Dawn, Wall Street, and of course the hit TV show 2.5 Men. He is also the son of Hollywood legend Martin Sheen. If you're unfamiliar, shame on you, but this icon starred in films such as The Departed, Apocalypse Now, Badlands, and The Way. Not only did he create one successful son, he created another as well, Emilio Estevez, the best Estevez and the best Sheen, just saying. He starred in hit films such as The Breakfast Club, The Outsiders, and Bobby. Honestly, sorry Charlie, but there's no topping that. I guess this number should have just been about Emilio. I screwed up. Damn it. Coming in at 6, Dakota Johnson. I'm no lover of Dakota Johnson. I think she's a subpar actress with a terrible attitude. However, I can't ignore the lineage she comes from. An incredibly successful lineage at that. So much so that her mother could have had her own number. For those who don't know, Dakota Johnson shot to fame through her role as Anastasia Steele in 50 Shades of Grey, before going on to star in How to Be Single, Bad Times at the El Royale, and Suspiria. The terrible remake that is, not the superior Dario Argento masterpiece. Anyway, I digress. Some will be surprised to know that Dakota is actually the daughter of Melanie Griffith and Don Johnson, the former an Oscar nominee and famous for appearing in films such as Working Girl, Raw, Now and Then, and more recently, The Disaster Artist. She is also the daughter of Tippi Hedren, aka The Birds. Her father, of course, was known for starring in Miami Vice, Django Unchained, and From Dusk Till Dawn, the series. Very impressive. If only they had taught their daughter manners. What a shame. Coming in at 5, Alexander Skarsgård. The Skarsgård family is filled to the brim with a bunch of talented and beautiful actors, one of them being of course Alexander Skarsgård, who appeared most recently alongside Nicole Kidman in Big Little Lies as her abusive husband. You will also be familiar with Alexander's brother, Bill, who is shot to fame through the role of Pennywise the Dancing Clown in Stephen King's It reboot. And of course, the father of these talented actors, none other than Stellan Skarsgård, an actor with a slew of awards under his belt for roles in films such as Good Will Hunting, Dogville, Exorcist the Beginning, and of course, Chernobyl. It must be incredible to be a household name in a family of household names. Alexander was once interviewed about his famous dad way back when, stating, "He was a great dad when I was growing up, but it was tough because I didn't get to see him much. He worked 16-hour days, 6 to 7 days a week. I would go to the theatre and hang out backstage to see dad basically." Sad times. Coming at 4, Bryce Dallas Howard. I love Bryce Dallas Howard, the Golden Globe nominated actress who starred in films such as The Help, Jurassic World, 50-50, Hereafter, The Village, and Spider-Man 3. But we don't talk about that one. I don't blame her, I blame Tobey Maguire. However, this Hollywood icon was famous before she was even born, because her father, Ron Howard. That's right, this actress is the daughter of Hollywood royalty. Ron Howard, for those who don't know, is an actor turned director, and a 2-time Oscar winner for the critically acclaimed film A Beautiful Mind. He also directed Willow, Far and Away, Apollo 13, Cinderella Man, and The Da Vinci Code. He is a legend and one of my favourite directors of all time. Even though most believe his films to be Oscar baity, I don't care. He's great, and so is Bryce, and I will support them until the end of time. Okay, bye.
life.
Coming in at 3, Colin Hanks. Now this one stumped me, and not for the reasons you would expect. Yes, I knew Colin Hanks was related to Tom Hanks, however, I spent years believing they were brothers. Rookie mistake. I did fail maths, so it all makes sense. Yeah, that's right, Colin Hanks is the son of Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson. Now it would be silly for me to explain the works of Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson because at this point we all know. Well, for those not in the know, Tom Hanks has won 2 Academy Awards for Forrest Gump and Philadelphia. He is an absolute legend. His son, Colin Hanks, is famous for starring in films such as King Kong, Untraceable, and The House Bunny, a guilty pleasure, and has paved such a successful career for himself that it's easy to forget who his parents are. However, it is worth noting that Colin Hanks was born to Samantha Luz, who sadly passed away on March 12, 2002. Coming in at 2, Gwyneth Paltrow. I think it's safe to say we all feel the same way about Gwyneth Paltrow, just ever so slightly irritated anytime we see her pop up on the screen. To be honest, I blame her weird company Goop. There's something weird going on there. It's the eggs. Anyway, I digress. Gwyneth is an Oscar-winning actress. Yeah, you heard me. Oscar-winning actress. For what you might ask, Shakespeare in Love. A highly overrated film, but I get it. People love it. I understand. Honestly, I don't know why I'm hating on everyone so hard. I'm going through something, I think. Existential dread. Anyway, Gwyneth Paltrow has starred in some incredible films such as Sliding Doors, Seven, Emma, and The Royal Tenenbaums, arguably one of Wes Anderson's best films of all time. But this isn't about US. What a lot of people don't know is that Gwyneth is the daughter of Blythe Danner, a Hollywood icon known for her roles in Meet the Parents, Paul, and I'll See You in My Dreams. Blythe also has another child, Jake Paltrow, who is also in the industry, but as a director. This family is stacked. And finally, coming in at number 1, Angelina Jolie. Oh, how I miss Angie. I know she's still around, I just generally miss her when I'm not in the process of watching her in a film. Angelina, of course, hit the scene back in 1995 when she starred in Hackers before she went on to star in hit films like Gia, The Bone Collector, Girl Interrupted, and one of my many guilty pleasures, Gone in 60 Seconds. Did you know though that Angie is the daughter of Hollywood icon Jon Voight? Now they are known to have an incredibly tumultuous relationship, with the pair not speaking to each other for many years. I quote, "My father and I don't speak. I don't believe that somebody's family becomes their blood, because my son's adopted and families are earned." Preach, Angie. Jon Voight is of course famous for starring in Anaconda, Midnight Cowboy, and my personal favourite, Deliverance. He's an incredibly talented actor, although there are constantly rumours about his on and off screen behaviour, which sums up why himself and Angie don't particularly get along.